The next chapter is about to begin. Join us live every Tuesday and Thursday for brand new episodes of the American Contractor Show. Our mission is to bring you the latest tools, innovations, and knowledge to help you become the most informed contractor in your market. Knowledge is the ultimate power, and we are connecting you with the most knowledgeable minds in our industry. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. American Contractors, I hope you're ready. This one's for you.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I as a contractor appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor that's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
Good afternoon, everyone. Lead meteorologist John Choquet here for our daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by our lovely sponsors, C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and our Supplement and Balance Claims. Check them out in the description below if you're watching us here on Facebook. So we're going to jump right into it, folks. Looks like we have a chance for some hail across the Colorado Front Range today. Looks like one of the better chances we've had so far this year. I know I feel like we're a broken record. Thankfully, Colorado has chances for hail all the way through September. So if today's not the day, we can always push ahead to the next one. But do those hail dances, guys. Maybe we can actually get pretty good storm in that Denver metro area this afternoon. Looking ahead to tomorrow, looks like we could see some hail in the northeast yet again, possibly into some areas of Nebraska. And finally, the tropics are starting to heat up. We're just going to do kind of a quick little check-in at the end there. Looks like we might see some new named systems coming up in the coming days. So forecast for today, the main event here, got a couple areas that we're looking at. The main one, of course, is here in the Colorado Front Range. Anywhere from down by the New Mexico border all the way up past north of Cheyenne, Wyoming, could see a chance for some of that hail. Storms forming this afternoon. I think coverage of storms is going to be mostly in that most significant zone that I've highlighted here from just south of Denver. So places like Centennial, Castle Rock, and areas like that, just north of Colorado Springs, up north of Cheyenne, Wyoming, have the best chance of seeing any storms today. And of that, the ones north of Denver, possibly Fort Collins or Greeley, that section of the I-25 corridor, and then up towards Cheyenne, could see the hail a little bit larger, maybe in excess of 2 inches in diameter. Further down south here towards Denver and Castle Rock and whatnot, even down towards Colorado Springs, closer to that golf ball size, so your maximum hail size potential for Colorado Front Range. We also have a chance for some storms scattered about all the way from around Minneapolis down through the St. Louis area. Could see upwards of $1 to $50 size hail, maybe even kind of bridging the gap here by Wichita. You might see a couple storms form. Kansas City, I don't think you're going to see anything today. Overall, the area to the east is looking a little more isolated, more of a wind producer than a large hail producer. So that main focus is going to be for Colorado, and we're going to break it down for the city of Denver, and this is pretty much all of the Front Range. So again, from south of Denver up to the Colorado border, anywhere between 1 p.m. Mountain Time to about 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So it's going to be in the afternoon here. Could see some storms. Hail possibly up to 2 inches diameter specifically for Denver. Maybe you could start flirting with bigger than that to the north if we get anything really crazy going on, especially in Wyoming. Moderate chance, pretty good chance we could see at least 1 inch hail somewhere along the I-25 corridor, and a lower moderate chance of that golf ball size hail or larger. There are some concerns though, like we've had so far this year. Some of these storms could form and not quite get their bite until they get east of the city, but we'll see how it all plays out. Again, do those tail dances, guys, and we can get some bigger storms in here. Here's that future radar show in Colorado. We could see those storms get after about 1 o'clock at this afternoon Mountain Time. They push out the mountains into eastern Colorado. One big thing to notice is there isn't a ton of storms that form, so it's keeping those chances a little bit lower just because coverage isn't as high. But with that lack of storm coverage does come that higher potential for bigger hail. Storms can kind of be a little more dominant and get a little stronger. So we'll see. We'll see how things play out. Maybe our luck will finally come into fruition here for the Denver area this afternoon. Pushing a little further to the east, an additional area of storm possibility across Missouri and Illinois and up into Minnesota. A lot of this looks pretty messy. You know, there's a ton of different storms in the area, so a lot of these updrafts are going to be fighting each other and not be able to get the really big hail, and that's why you're only seeing that up to $quarter to $half size hail potential for the Mississippi River area. And going into tomorrow, 2 areas of risk, first of which is in the Northeast, a weird hotbed of activity the last month or so over by New York and to Pennsylvania, parts of New Jersey. Could see upwards of that $quarter to $half size hail. Again, more of a wind risk across the Northeast. And then the more significant hail risk, where a larger hail is going to be here across the parts of Nebraska that nobody lives in. So Grand Island's got that low chance, but overall I think the majority of this activity is going to really be focused into the Sand Hills and maybe over by the North Platte area. Pretty void of population with that. Showing here, across the Northeast, probably more of a wind risk than hail risk, but like we've apparently proven quite a few times this year, the Northeast likes to pop out some hailstones upwards of ping pong ball size. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens again tomorrow afternoon in eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, parts of New York, possibly even sneaking its way into Maryland or even towards Connecticut, Massachusetts. So watching that carefully as always. And here across the Central Plains, that main hail risk, later in the evening across sections of Nebraska and into Kansas. So that's what we're looking at for the United States. And here, there we go. And this is your tropical check-in for the Atlantic. We have 2 areas we're watching here. The most exciting one right now is in the central Atlantic, that red zone. So that's a, I believe, over 60% chance now that this little tropical wave is going to turn into our next tropical system in the next 48 hours likely, and if not, it could possibly get all the way close to South America before it forms in the next 5 days. So that is likely going to become, what are we at, G now? I don't remember what the next name is going to be. And then we also have a chance, about 40% chance, there's some disturbed weather. So another little tropical wave near Cuba. This is going to meander into the Gulf of Mexico. This one's a little more interesting for the United States. Because this does form into something. It may end up going to Texas. Doesn't look like it could be a hurricane as of right now. Obviously, we're still in July, and usually it's a little challenging to see how strong these things are going to be before they actually form. So something we'll be watching over the next 5 days, possibly going towards Texas. So again, the tropics are starting to warm up a little bit. This is pretty normal for this time of year. We see activity start to wake up a little bit towards the end of July, and then they really pick up. It's almost like a light switch picking up in about halfway through August when we get towards the peak of season. So tropics warming up. We're already at G, so things have been a little active already. So follow us here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at Hail Trace. Don't miss any updates. We post a little more regularly, and of course, any sort of live coverage goes on. If anything crazy does happen, we'll go live this afternoon for the Denver area. So make sure, especially on Facebook, hit see first so everything pops up top of your news feed so you don't miss out on any of our content. I know sometimes pages get drowned out a little bit from all the chitter chatter about various things. So if you do that on Facebook, we should pop up your news feed. And if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, need a training first time here at Hail Trace, whatever it may be, give us a call, 855-334-4245. You can email us as well at info@hailtrace.com. If you don't like talking on the phone, visit our website, hailtrace.com, for more details. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. As Hail Dan says, maybe we'll be back a little bit later for some live coverage for Denver. And if not, we'll see you guys again tomorrow at 12 p.m. like we do every single weekday. I'll see you guys tomorrow.